At the end of today's video, you'll know how to tie your shoes. At the end of today's video, you'll know how to tie your shoelaces to tailor your shoes to your foot, especially if you've got really wide feet or Morton's neuroma or bunions. Well, let's have a look. Salut, c'est Stéphane from Safe Motions. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is a channel where we publish every week some tips to help runners avoid injuries. And if you already have an injury, we'll give you some self-treatments to get better. Remember, this is not a replacement for a visit to a medical professional. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to tie your shoelaces so that your shoe adapts to the shape of your foot. And we want to see how we can loosen some areas there. In particular, if your feet are really wide, if you've got bunions. Also, if you have Morton's neuroma, you want to loosen this area so that when you run, it doesn't hurt. Standard foot right here. We're going to quickly define what bunions are and Morton's neuroma. And now, bunion is just a bump, a sort of inflammation where you'll see some bone sticking out in this area. This is called also a Hallux Valgus. A bunion can also happen on the outside. That's called a Tailor's bunion or quintus varus. Same bump, but on the outside of the foot. And a Morton's neuroma is an inflammation of some nerves that come in between the bones of the foot. You may feel a little bit of burning sensation on the toes when you run, or sometimes like a stone that's right here, but there's no stone in your shoe. Now we're moving away from the rain because it's raining. Let me untie the shoelaces here and we'll use this one. Taking a look at the shoe, we know from the previous video on shoelacing that this area needs to be nice and snug so that the shoe sticks onto the foot and that you can enjoy all the technical features of your running shoe. For that, we learned how to do a heel lock or a runner's loop in this area or in any area that we want to tighten. For example, if you've got flat feet, you want to tighten this area. Make sure to watch our previous video. I'll put the link on the card on top of your screen. Now we want to do the opposite if your feet are too wide, or if you have bunions on the inside or on the outside, or if you have Morton's neuroma at the bottom of the foot. So let's say you have a painful bunion here on the outside. So I want to keep this area loose when I tie up my shoelaces. You're going to place your shoelaces on the opposite hole and you're going to skip this hole altogether. Insert the shoelace onto the second hole. In order to compensate for that on the other side, you're going to slide in the opposite shoelace onto the next hole on the same side. From there, you've got both the shoelaces at the same level on the second hold. You can continue shoelacing as you would for the rest of the shoe. Right, then you just need to tie up your shoelaces, and you can see when I tie it up, this area is still loose right there. Ta-da! Okay, so this is for a bunion on the inside. If you had a bunion on the outside, so that quintus varus, you would simply do the opposite. We'd go here. And start our shoelacing from here, regular shoelacing. Right, if your bunion is a bit lower, I'm going to loop it up. Great, and from here, tie the shoelaces normally. Right, And here we've got that bunion step over, and this is a lot more free. This technique can be applied to anywhere in the shoe where you think you need to free up some space. So for example, let's say you've got very high arches like me. You want this area to be more loose because it hurts the top of your foot when you tie your shoelaces too strongly. And this shoelace, instead of putting it here, we skip it, bring it over to the other side. This goes in to the 5th hole. Now we're back at the same level and we can finish the shoelacing as usual. Now, if you've got really wide feet or Morton's neuroma, the solution is even simpler than that. Let me show you. Instead of starting your shoelacing here, you're just going to start it 1 hole up. And here you go, regular shoelacing, lots of space in the toe box for bunions, Morton's neuroma, and really wide feet. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video and you've learned something new. Now I'm curious, I'd like to know, have you tried any of those techniques? Which one works for your foot? Please comment down below and let me know. À bientôt!